We're gonna go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, shabam! Hey guys, yes. Welcome back to the stream. Man, please give some love in the chat for our wonderful guest, Lauren Kashan. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here with us and can hang out and do some real talk with us.
So cool.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, man. I gotta say that that video you guys put out, was it last week?
Yeah.
Man.
Gosh.
First of all, that song is a face ripper, which no one was surprised. But also, man, what just a cool concept. Like, can you tell us a little bit about what that is? We've kind of been sharing it in chat a little bit. People have been watching it, so.
So the song itself, Say Nothing, is about the cognitive dissonance that I've been experiencing for a really long time in the hardcore and metalcore scene, where in the last 5 to 10 years, it's suddenly become not cool to have socio-political opinions in your music. And so many of my favorite bands have basically gotten the label of being corny or buzzkill bands because they actually give a shit about things going on in the world.
Sure, yeah.
And it just seems like a wildly incongruent phenomenon to be happening in a genre that was literally founded on punk protest music.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
And it just, that frustrates me to no end. And I'm totally fine with, obviously, people can write songs about whatever they want. It's your art, live your fucking bliss. But don't come for people who are trying to use their art to do something positive in the world. That's something that just has never made sense to me at all. And for me, I was just kind of it must be so fucking nice to just write a record about the same palatable things that 1,000 other people before you have talked about.
Yeah.
It must be really nice to just be able to do that and have it to be just completely received very well because you're not saying anything, so nobody can actually disagree with you or have a feeling or opinion about it.
Man.
But I'm not that person.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, there is a level of jealousy that I've felt for bands that can just do that, and that's just who they are in their career, and it's pretty straightforward. So I don't know. That was my little call out to any of the people out there who have a problem with bands using their platform for something bigger than just mosh calls. And one of the biggest issues that I've found in metalcore and hardcore, obviously toxic masculinity is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of whether or not you are regardless of your gender, anybody who is skewing towards feminine expression, there has just always historically been a lot of disdain for and people not taking them seriously within the scene.
Yeah.
I know that I myself have intentionally presented in ways that were more masculine, so as to be taken seriously by people. Not dressing in a way that's feminine, dressing in a way that isn't sexual at all.
Right.
Because when you're start going to shows and you're making friends there and everything, you want these people to fucking like you and you want to fit in. And it became pretty clear to me 10, 15 years ago when I started going to shows that if you're a girly girl, you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
Because people would say shit to me no clit in the pit. So yeah, I apologize for the horrific turn of phrase. I didn't come up with that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a video that basically took the cognitive dissonance that I'd been feeling about all of these things and flipped it back on people, because it's what is more the opposite of toxic masculinity than aggressively feminine pop adjacent imagery. So that was really what I wanted to what I really wanted to go for. And obviously I love pop music and I love a lot of female pop artists, and so I wanted to get to basically this was just a fun way for me to play dress up, frankly.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, shooting that video was so much fun. It was like the biggest labor of love, like for me, especially because our record label like wasn't like super enthusiastic about us attempting to do that idea, because they were like, oh, it's going to be way too expensive. Like there is no way for us to be able to pull that off within budget. And I was basically like, okay, that's fine. You can think whatever you want. I'm going to pay for everything out of budget myself. So this is happening.
Wow.
Period.
Man, that's so cool.
I made all the costumes myself. And fortunately, we have a really awesome community here in Boston of like costume artists and makeup artists and like people in the tech art world. And so we were able to use my friend's apartment to shoot in, and we were able to use all of my boyfriend's like tech art that's in the video. So basically anything that lit up is stuff that my boyfriend has made, fabricated, programmed, and like created himself, which is pretty dope. Man. And so we got to make it basically look way more high budget than it was.
Yeah. That's so cool. Well, I mean, it was definitely that message, I mean, I feel like definitely came across, you know, and it's interesting because like when I first heard the song, I was like, man, this song like rips, like this is cool, you know, and I like kind of look and I can, you know, like most metal, it's like you can understand like half of the stuff and then you kind of like go and look up the lyrics and everything. And I like metal, you know, like I scream myself too. So, I mean, I know that's a thing. But I'm just like, you know, looking at the lyrics and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like mosh call, generic mosh call. I'm like, she is so calling people out on this. Cause man, like
the generic mosh call. So this is hilarious. When I was like fucking around, like with my band, like coming up with like lyrics, like they were playing it. And I just started like jokingly being like, mosh call, generic mosh call. And I was like, wait, why don't we just fucking, okay, now I know what the song's going to be about. And it literally started with generic mosh call was like the prime lyric. And I was like, I'm going for that. I'm going for the people who are just there for the fucking hype and the clout and the generic mosh calls.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Thank you.
I love that just thought that, because what you're saying, I mean, even though this is kind of, you know, it's kind of a fun, you know, just kind of play on those kind of bands and stuff, like that really is a problem though. I mean, because like if you are never acknowledging things that are important in your life, and this is true with mental health. I mean, we talk about this probably daily about like, you know, if you're just going through life, trying to have fun, like not acknowledging anything that's important, like, man, there's going to be you're going to have some trouble because, man, like
there will be blowback from that.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much you can stuff into a bottle before it breaks, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
right.
Exactly.
Right.
And I get people wanting to, I feel like there's totally a balance between using music as just an endorphin rush and an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's tons of stuff that I listen to that is super like that. But I think that there has to be a balance between that just like dopamine hit music and stuff that really like challenges people and makes people think.
Yes.
Yeah. Man. I love that.
I think it takes powerful voices that are willing to say those things too, and not care about necessarily being supported financially by your label to get your message out there, because that's, I mean, I think that really speaks to your character and your passion about that you're obviously putting into this music, that you're putting into these lyrics, that your band is executing on stage. You know, you're literally putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
That's
really cool.
Thank you. I've never really been content with the all walk or like the all talk, no walk bullshit that a lot of people do. I have a lot of hangups, like with armchair activism and people who literally do not put their money where their mouth is. If you're not going to put your money there, then shut your mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then it's often a distraction from people who are actually trying to do something positive in the world, in my opinion.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Man. And it's hard when, and I'm sure you feel this, like it's hard when you feel like you're trying to do something important, right? Like you are trying to speak out against something, and there's so much noise and there's so much people talking and not doing stuff that you're just like, man, I'm glad that these people have good intentions, but they're taking up time and like attention that could be spent on somebody actually doing something, you know?
Right.
That's frustrating.
I feel like there's also a lot of times with those same people, because they're not experiencing like true activism, where burnout is super a thing, because when you are putting yourself in a position of talking about like trauma constantly, talking about mental health constantly, talking about violence constantly, it really wears on you.
Yep.
And
It does.
when people are only concerned with identity politics or like paying lip service to like different groups, it makes it a lot harder for people to be effective in their activism and not get burnt out. Because that is a giant problem. If you talk to people in any kind of activist like world, burnout is such a colossal problem, because talking about those things every day fucking sucks. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to pretend that that's fun for anyone.
Sure.
How do you keep yourself from getting burnout? Or I mean, what's that side of things like for you, you know, getting up on stage and talking about really hard stuff all the time?
It honestly really depends on the environment. There will be some shows where you can feel like the warmth and the support and the love from the people in the room. And those are spaces that feel safe enough to be talking about difficult things. And then there are shows that literally just feel like openly hostile, and that no one fucking likes you and they don't want to listen to you anymore. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about being raped in front of you people. So it literally doesn't feel safe. It like feels threatening and dangerous and re-traumatizing. And so I used to basically be like, I'm going to talk about this stuff, like no matter who we're playing to, no matter what. And that was a really very optimistic idea, but it was based in naivety. And basically you have to pick and choose the places where your message is going to be taken in and is going to be effective. And like sometimes that is a hard thing to figure out, but like I just kind of flail through it and try to do my best. And I turn to my bandmates and for their like consideration on a lot of these things, because a lot of them have backgrounds in activism of different kinds. So having like a supportive band who, I mean, their primary concern is my mental health, which is very wonderful of them.
Wow, yeah.
So they don't like make me talk about things that I don't feel comfortable talking about. So yeah.
So I think that's a great point. Like you got to think about your audience, you know, whenever you're bringing something up, because like you said, man, if something needs to be talked about, like we need to talk about it. Right. But there's also some consideration of like who you're talking with, you know, and that's where probably experience and, you know, trying it out and probably failing or feeling really weird about it a few times really comes in. Because I don't feel like it is cowardly to not talk about something that isn't going to be received, you know, that isn't going to be effective, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that it isn't, especially when it is in the name of preserving your own sanity. Because if you push yourself to talk about hard stuff in environments that don't feel safe, don't feel effective, you feel like you're not accomplishing anything, and you just feel like you're re-traumatizing yourself. So you're going to burn out and not want to do it in a way shorter span than somebody who is being mindful of when they are choosing to like talk about certain topics and are being mindful of their own mental state and where they're at so that they can prolong their activism and not get burnt out immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, I want to real quick just open up the opportunity for the people who are watching here in chat to ask some questions to our one of our mods will be available to send those questions to me. So if at any time during our time with Lauren, if you have a question, go ahead and ask it in chat, and we will take some time before we wrap up today to address some of those questions and get them answered.
Yeah. I know that you were talking about your new album having a lot to do with mental health and stuff.
Yes.
So what kind of things are addressed there?
Wow, a lot. I was writing transitional forms in a time of like considerable physical, mental, emotional, like life circumstance upheaval. And like big life changes are incredibly like stressful on our brains and on our bodies alone. And then you combine that with mental illness like depression or anxiety, and it's going to be a rough time. So I spent basically a year and a half, for lack of a better term, like trying to rewire my own brain, because I was like so exhausted from feeling like I'm walking around just being traumatized, like with carrying like major trauma. And then on top of that, feeling like my own brain isn't working in a way that is helpful or facilitating my growth or like helping me feel better. And I was like, there have to be more solutions to this. So that was when I basically started looking for like, solutions to some of those feelings. And for me, some of that involved like going to a psychiatrist and getting medications that have been really helpful for me. There's also like, there's a ton of stigma against medication, and that shit like really needs to fucking stop. It's not for everybody, but for the people who it is for, like, it's super important to not make people feel like they shouldn't take their fucking pills if they actually are helping. So just want to put a little pin in that.
Yeah.
So started seeing a psychiatrist, started taking medication, and started basically researching a lot of the science that goes into like emotional well-being and like happiness, and like what are literally things supported by science that can help your brain feel better on a daily basis. And some of these are like great because they're very just like everyday things that literally anybody can do, and there is hard science to back up their efficacy. So I started doing that in conjunction with some probably what might be considered unusual forms of therapy that I don't necessarily want to get into, but started doing that, started seeing a therapist to do something called IFS therapy, and started just working on like literally putting in time and effort every day to rewire my brain to veer towards the positive as opposed to veering towards the negative. If people, I mean, if anybody is listening who like curious about like what some of these things are, I would highly recommend going online and Googling like just like the psychology of happiness, the psychology of well-being. Behavioral psych is like a thing that I am extremely interested in. And one of the biggest takeaways I think that anybody could literally do on a daily basis is just write a gratitude journal. There's so much science to back up how helpful this is.
Wow.
And so 10 out of 10, please highly recommend that. And basically the path that the record takes in conjunction with all of this pretty much follows my descent into fear and frustration and basically just being terrified of like the entire world around me and terrified of my own thoughts for a long time and being unsure of the balance of wanting to be open and vulnerable and feeling that is like my truth, and then living in fear and needing to protect that vulnerability in myself. And I think that's a balance that a lot of people experience, and like a struggle that people vacillate between. And that's kind of like one of the biggest like threads of the record is like, I just want to give love all the time to everybody around me. I do this and it really fucking hurts a lot. How can I reconcile that? And that's basically the record. Is how do you reconcile wanting to live in a place coming from love and compassion in a world that is often like directly at odds with a lot of those feelings. And so I talked about in the record a lot of like personal experiences I have with people who have like either capitalized on that with me or have used their adjacency to me to like bolster their like social credentials or whatever, like feminist credentials. I talk a lot about the fact that specifically as a woman, there's going to be people being critical of literally everything that you fucking do in your life forever. That's just a thing. You will never get universal popularity for anybody, but specifically for women, there's almost like no right way of doing things. It's like, oh, you dress too revealing and you're slutty. You dress too modest and you're like, oh, it's a little like church girl. If you are sexual, then you're a whore. If you are not, then you're stuck up. Like, there's just so much, like, there's no good in between for literally any woman. And so one of my favorite songs on the record is basically my like, ladies, fuck all of these people and just do you, because someone's going to have a problem with it regardless. And then you can't make any of these people happy. So it doesn't fucking matter. Just make yourself happy. I spent a lot of time being worried about what people thought of me. Still do. Like, I think that that's a pretty normal thing. I envy people who claim to not care what anybody thinks about them. That's not realistic for me. I'm a soft, squishy bean. So I care about, like, because like, I'm like, I want to help people. Want to do nice things. And I want people, please don't be mean to me.
Oh,
I did not know that.
I didn't know you could make that voice. That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of side to this.
Do you do voiceover work?
No, but I've been told that I should forever, and I really want to.
You totally should.
We will straight up make a project.
Will straight up pay for that.
So
let's do it.
So
holy shit!
I play a lot of D&D, so I get to flex a little bit of that.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Wait, what'd you say? You cut out.
I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And so I get to do some fun character voices with that, which is great. But yeah, like, oh my God. I don't know if anybody, this is like hella nerdy. So I don't watch TV. The only thing that I watch on any kind of a regular basis is a YouTube series called Critical Role. And it is, you are watching voice actors play Dungeons and Dragons. And it's one of my favorite things in the world. And like one of my life goals is to maybe be a guest on that one day.
Oh man, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Critical Role is on Twitch.
Oh boy.
You can they live stream. And what you watch on YouTube is like what they stream.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So you can watch that live if you get on Twitch.
That's awesome. Right. Man.
Have you watched this season, the second season?
I have not.
Okay, cool. I was just gonna say, if you had, I'm totally down to go down a rabbit hole there.
I'm only vaguely familiar with their content because I have just started to look into the D&D world, and because as an artist, I know a bunch of people who do character art for the D&D characters, whatever, and I'm just like, this is a whole new avenue of content creation, and it's pretty cool. what is it about that because like you obviously had a strong reaction when you were talking about that. And like what is it about that particularly that like excites you? Like is it the creativity? Is it the storytelling? Is it just the escape of living another life? Like what is it for you?
I mean, my background is in theater, so I get to be creative and create a character, and then I get to play this character in like novel, different, improvised like situations. Like I get such a kick out of that. Before the world imploded, I'd been looking into like improv groups in Boston because that's like a thing that I would really like to get back into. Is like
That's really cool.
the actual like theater performance world.
Yeah.
Because in Sharptooth, it's me on stage, which is a lot. It's so much like, there's something very different between being yourself on stage, like playing yourself, and playing a character. And you get extremely different experiences out of those things. And I love both. So if there's a way for me to be able to do both, I hella want to try to do both. So, and especially like there's something amazingly emotionally challenging in having to inhabit a character that is completely different from you and having to basically get inside their headspace and figure out, okay, we're in this dungeon and there's a baby dragon. Okay, everyone else thinks that we should kill it. My character wouldn't think that because my character wants to make friends with everybody. So I have to just, like, try to convince the other characters that that's the thing we should do. Like, so.
Are you chaotic good?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are.
Yes, I am. That is, yep. So there's a test online that we made my entire friend group take. That gives you your race, your alignment, and your classes. And so I am a half elf, which makes sense because I'm very small. I'm a half elf, chaotic good, paladin, bard. So a social justice warrior.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Like,
makes sense.
I took that and I like went, as soon as I took that and got that answer, I was like, all of my friends need to take this right now because it is bizarrely accurate.
Wow.
That's so awesome.
I proceeded to go and make everyone I know take it. So
what is the link?
What's with our self characters. So we're going to be doing that online like very soon. So that'll be interesting, having to play myself in a D&D game.
Wow, that's so cool.
Do you have a link to that test?
Oh yeah, I can totally send you a
Please send it. We need to do that.
Please send me that because I know a ton of people who would just be all about that.
Yep.
I would love to share that. Thank you.
Man.
Hell yeah.
Second question. Do you have art of your character?
I have
your D&D character?
I have art for two of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, one is I made the I just like how do I one of them technically isn't something that I drew. One of them is I like went and found one of those like avatar, like those little doll makers online. You want to know how deep the nerd goes?
Yes.
It was there. It gets even worse because then after I made my own characters, then I made me and my boyfriend as Harry Potter characters because I'm apparently still 14. This is fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, that's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I draw myself as Lisa Frank characters. It's fine. It's okay. I have a binder.
I have a binder. Casey.
This is amazing.
This is great.
Well, now I need to do that.
There you go. Dan, you're on reassignment. All right, learn Lisa Frank style
right I am.
and draw everyone that.
Oh my god. I would fund that Kickstarter like 1,000%.
Let's do it. So awesome, man.
Yeah. So nerdy shit is my shit.
That's so cool, man. I
love that.
People are so interesting. That's what I love about like being able to just interview people, you know, because I'm sure that you get this a lot. Like I'm sure that you find a lot of people judging you, you know, and I mean that I'm sure that's old by now, but I love being able to sit down and talk with somebody.
That eye roll in my soul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I feel bad
every day.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I mean, this is just like another example of, man, you don't really know somebody, you know, until you talk to them for a while, you know, and
Sure.
even then, I mean, there's always more to know, but it's just interesting that like, you know, cause I've, like I said, I'm sure you get this, like it's some people like it's just like, you listen to your music and you wouldn't think all the things that you said. That's all.
Exactly.
That's all. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have this idea that I'm like aggressive or mean or like something like that. And it's, if you've ever had a conversation with me, I'm talking in like silly voices half the time, and I'm very squishy, and I want to be friends with everyone.
I'm very squishy.
I am. Oh, I'm the softest little fucking thing ever. I cry every day. And it's not, and I mean, sometimes it's over. Like, I just have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of very big feelings, and they come out in very extreme ways. And that's why I'm a metalcore band.
Sure.
Because those
I get that. Yeah.
to come out in an extreme way.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my God, I cry about fucking everything. I cry when I'm excited that somebody sent me a really cute bird video. If anyone wants to send me cute bird videos.
Bird videos specifically?
Bird videos specifically. Because birds like are tiny.
Cat video, it's like, yes, that is cute. Bird video. He just wants to fly.
I'm sorry, not a cat person.
Is it because cats eat birds and you love birds?
Huh?
Is it because of your love for birds because cats eat birds?
No.
Everything is based on birds.
Person is I'm extremely allergic.
Oh,
so
okay.
I would be friends with every animal. So there's a lot of betrayal in the way that cats hurt me. And in how much I've wanted to be friends with them in the past. And now I'm bitter. And so I'm like, don't come near me. You're just gonna fucking hurt me.
Wow.
So I'm not a cat person. And honestly, if my allergy went away, that might change. But my pivot to that was like, oh, okay, so if I want to hang out with animals that don't give a shit about me, which, let's get real, people, the cat probably doesn't give a shit about you.
No.
That's why I like reptiles. So I'm not like deluding myself into thinking that like my lizard loves me. I know that he is very cool with the fact that I give him food, and he's very cool with the fact that I'm warm. And he'll come like when he's called and stuff, which is more than I can say for some cats. I will say that.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, there is no cognitive dissonance with this animal because I have no expectation for him to like me or care about interacting with me.
Sure.
Outside of food and warm.
Yep.
But like, kind of nice. The rules are very easy.
So someday when you have a teenager, it's gonna make a ton of sense. It's gonna be great, you know.
I want to go back and talk about how you were describing about how you were being a character, like a character, a version of you on stage versus off stage versus whatever, right? You know, we work with a lot of other content creators, streamers who feel like people will only like them if they are presenting themselves in certain ways, right?
Oh, sure.
And then when they feel guilty about being themselves because it's not the person that's on the video or it's not the person that's on the stage or whatever, like, how do you navigate that?
Flailing. I honestly wish I was as big of a bitch as people seem to think that I am. But I'm like just hella not. So this is kind of interesting. So the type of therapy that I do and that has been extremely helpful to me is something called IFS. And that stands for internal family systems. It doesn't have to do with your family, but it does have to do with all of the parts of your personality and the way that they interact with each other.
Oh.
And that's your internal family, is
Right.
all parts of your personality.
Right.
And so I haven't really felt like, you know, the way that I'm acting now is like disingenuous because of the way that I act on stage. I just feel like these are just different parts of my personality. There is a part of me that is like,
Sure.
like angry and violent and like blood curdling screams. That is a part of me. But then there is the part of me that like talks in little baby voices and like that stuff too. So it doesn't feel disingenuous. It just feels like I'm letting different parts like come forward at different times when they feel appropriate. And everyone has parts. You know, you're not gonna like flex your super competitive like part of you when you're playing like backgammon with your grandmother. Like,
I mean, you aren't.
Right.
My grandma's going down.
Oh, your granny. Like, no. But it's like we all have different parts to our personality that come forward when we're doing different things.
Yeah.
To me, in being able to frame it that way, there is way less cognitive dissonance for me. I'm just like, that's part of me that needs to come out right now, and it's going to, and I have 25 minutes on stage to do that. And that's like one of the only places that that part gets to come out in a way that feels safe or feels positive.
Yeah.
Because I think so many people carry anger and violence inside them. I think we all have that part of us, but a lot of people don't have positive or healthy ways to express those things.
Yes.
So that like either gets buried underneath like just stuffing it, or underneath like using substances like in an abusive way, or it comes out in explosions at the people in your life. And neither of those options are great.
Sure.
So yeah, I think that that's pretty universal, honestly, though.
So if the stage is the only place where that part of your personality can safely express itself, how do you deal with the COVID stuff and not being able to go on stage? Does that bottle up, or does that have another safe place that's just a private place?
For me, like trying to get out those feelings, a lot of times like I will just go in my car and put on music and drive around and like scream to stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it has been so much harder, like not being able to go out, not being able to see my friends, not being able to play shows, and having like my resources for like coping with existing in the world. A lot of them have been just totally stripped away, which has been super hard for me as a hardcore extrovert. Like, I am such a little needy fucker. I need people all the time around me. That's just like, that gives me life and energy. And having that taken away has been extremely challenging. So I've been trying to find ways to work around that so that all of my parts, including the really angry, violent one, have some outlets. It has not been easy, and it has been fraught with pitfalls.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of us are just kind of flailing through this the best that they can.
Yep.
And I'm not doing, I think all things considered, I'm doing okay. Like,
good.
This will end eventually, and I will be fine. I feel like, but yeah. Kind of can be a little traumatic for people to be in this situation. I know that there have been specific aspects of this that have been triggering to like some parts of my trauma, and just doing a lot of video chat therapy.
Yeah. Man.
Well, I'm just grateful to hear your perspective on all this, and your I don't know, just you obviously care so much. And the way that you are doing it through all the aspects of your personality, I think is going to do nothing but good.
I hope so.
And I feel that. I mean, And I think a lot of people here are just like, obviously love you and care about what you are doing and care about your message and care about the change that you want because of the hope and love you have for people.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is so just like evident. Like I feel that as an extremely empathetic person that you're talking to right now. Like I get goosebumps when I hear passionate people talk, and I love that. And like this whole time I've just been like, this is good. This is good. This is good.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
But yeah. And we have some questions here that I would love to give some time to. First one from Classic Chambers says, Lauren, I love Sharptooth, but I've always wondered, how do you guys not get in trouble with the Jurassic Park logo / Toronto Raptors logo?
That's such a great question.
He's like, we did. They've sued us so many times.
Thanks for bringing that up.
I'm going to be probably because we are small beans. Just fucking like small beans to these people, and they don't give a shit about us, which is great. Please continue to not give a shit.
It works out.
So I continue using imagery from these wonderful mediums. Yeah, I don't know. Steven Spielberg is not worried about my band. We're not like taking money from him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Our having the logo and stuff is not cutting into Jurassic Park merch sales. Like, so yeah, like no one's ever like come after us or anything like that for those things. And a bunch of people have done Toronto Raptors like rips before. Actually, there was a Structures. If y'all remember the band Structures, they had a Toronto Raptors rip like 10 years ago, something like that. I mean, not quite that long, but that was the first time I saw that. And like, I remembered it when we were like 10 years later, I was like, yo, we should probably like do something like that at some point. That Structures is gone. So like we can do that now.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody thinks it's your idea now. So we were the first people to rip this off.
Just ripping off of each other anyway.
Yeah.
Like nothing is fucking original.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
All right. Second question from Herbal Tulip. Do you like emo fashion?
Oh yeah, sure. Oh, you want to speak? So I don't know that this qualifies as emo fashion, but I am wearing a Hell Bunny dress, which is the fucking pinup goth adjacent. So I guess it depends. Like what is emo fashion? I mean, I have a pair of checkered Vans, and they're great. I feel like that's a staple.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, in the fucking early 2000s, I was like quintessential like emo kid, like Taking Back Sunday track jacket, star earrings. Oh my God, I would draw stars on my face and eyeliner. It was great. I had snake bites. Like I was a true. Oh yeah.
Like Gem?
Bites. There is at least one picture out there that exists where you can see a star on my face and the fucking snake bites, and it is 2005 gold.
Good. Good.
Yeah, like sideways stud belts and like shit like that. That was like super my thing. And like neon colors. I think, I don't know. Did any girl really live through 2000 to 2006 if they didn't do at least one of those things?
Yeah, I mean, you have to, especially if you're in the music scene at all, you know.
Oh
yeah, I was looking up haircuts for my boys. I've two kids, and I was like, you know what? You guys should do a mohawk. Like you're a little kid. Like nobody's gonna care if you have like any kind of weird hair or whatever.
Nobody gives a shit.
Like nobody cares. And I was like, oh, you should do an epic mullet or something. And they're like, yeah, even we know that's not cool. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I was like, you should do emo. And I like got on this like huge track of like looking at emo pictures and stuff. And I'm just like, dang.
Like scene hair?
Yeah, like scene hair and stuff. And I was like, I know that I'm a dad now, but I still think the stuff is so cool. Like, I don't even care. You know, I'm like, I would rock that if I could.
I'm here for it. I want, like, specifically, I really want track jackets to come back. That is, I've had so many moments of like looking through my wardrobe and being like, why did I get rid of the shit I wore in high school? It just makes me very sad.
Yep.
We had one of my good friends it was his birthday, and it was the same night that a lot of us usually do karaoke. So we turned it into emo karaoke night, and everybody had to come dressed exactly the way that they were in high school.
Oh, man.
It was great.
Yikes.
And I made black bottom cupcakes, which I just called black grape cupcakes. It was a whole thing.
There you go.
And just sang emo songs for karaoke all night, which I do most nights at karaoke anyway.
Yeah. It's just everybody getting onto your level. Everybody else catching up.
Right. I miss karaoke. Oh, I just got really sad because I miss karaoke.
You should check out Twitch Sings.
Oh yeah, Twitch Sings.
What is that?
It's like karaoke on Twitch.
It's Twitch karaoke. You can do it live with people. You can stream it.
It's great.
Have you ever considered live streaming, Lauren?
Yes, I have.
Do you secretly live stream and you haven't told us?
No, I do like that.
What's your channel?
Who the fuck is your shit? So that's why I've like, I don't know. I've like thought about it. I'm like, I just don't know what I would like do, because there's a part of me that's like, oh, I could do like a cooking show or something like that. Or I could play with my reptiles the whole time.
Hold on.
What?
You could do any of what you just talked about for the last hour, and people would effing show up.
Yes.
That.
Like, I'm always kind of like, no one's giving a shit. No one cares.
Because people love. This is something we've actually learned. We've been doing this streaming thing for like what 5-6 years now, dude. And it doesn't matter what you do. It matters who you are, and people come because they love you.
Exactly.
That is 100% the truth. 100% the truth. And I'm just going to put this out there. If you want some live streaming, like consulting, helping get stuff set up, tech, graphic stuff, you literally have our number.
We got you, homie.
There's no excuse.
We got you.
Okay, well, shit. Oh, I just saw someone in the chat said, if they can, you can.
It's true.
It's so nice. Everyone is, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
This isn't a pressure thing, by the way. This is just an open door.
Yes, it is. Do it.
Stop it. No. Unless you're scared.
Oh, God. Unless you're afraid.
What? Did you just say, no, you can't do that. Okay, you can't do this to me. You cannot do this to me, because I'm that bitch who, if you're like, won't, I'm like, well, fuck, I got to now. Don't tell me. Yeah, I'm that idiot friend. No. I'm the one who get to usually do anything stupid by being like, you won't. I drank mayonnaise out of a jar with a straw on live once, and people watched that. So I guess there is something to all of this. Yep. And you heard me. I said what I said.
I'd sub for that. I got a Twitch Prime ready to wreck right now. You just throw it down.
Honestly, I should have just come on here just sipping it. Just waited for someone to notice.
Like, worry. Oh my gosh.
You can follow Lauren at twitch.tv/mayochug.
Oh no.
Okay, so you know how like everyone these days has an OnlyFans? That's like a thing that everyone's doing. I wanted to make one, but literally it's just videos of me like eating meat. People come on there expecting like a nude, and they just get me just shoveling sour cream into my fucking. Yeah.
I mean, you'd probably be pretty successful. I imagine.
Such a troll. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that so much.
So good, man.
I mean, I would be pretty. I mean, I would be very open about it, but I guarantee you people wouldn't believe that, and they'd still sign up anyway. And then I'd be like, literally, I told you I'm just going to be eating like cottage cheese with a shovel. What do you expect?
It's just
like
really difficult.
Shovel, like a gardening trowel.
Oh, that's so good! Yes, I love that.
So dumb.
top review. I mean, why?
Why not? You know, the world is my oyster or mayonnaise jar. Why? Because so here's the real why and why this is a thing at all. Pretty much everyone who knows me knows that I am passionate about condiments, which weird thing to be passionate about. I like eating condiments more than I like eating most food, and I am very notorious for my deep love of mayonnaise. So it's like turned into like a joke with like my friends, and then it's just kind of spiraled out of control, and now like the whole internet knows that I just have a weird mayo thing.
Wow.
I just really like it. So when I was in college, I would make
I just like it, okay? Huh? I just like it, okay? Back off.
Leave me alone, all right?
I would make this became a thing in college when I would like come home from classes to my apartment, and I would make something that my roommate referred to as mayonnaise sandwiches, and I just like
my mom ate mayonnaise sandwiches.
What was on it?
Surprisingly,
it was
mayonnaise.
It was a fried mayonnaise sandwich, like with like toast and butter.
What is
because poverty?
Because what?
Because poverty.
That's fair. How do you fry mayonnaise? Do you just like lob a blob of it into
lob a blob, baby?
Don't tell me this. I would do it.
Never experienced this. I always microwave my mayonnaise. Get it bubbling.
You just put it on the bread and then instantly into the toaster.
You can't do that. You burn the house down. Don't do this, kids. Dan,
Please don't set your house on fire. So it would basically be like a fake chicken patty with more volume of mayonnaise on either side of the patty than there was chicken patty. And so my friend called me because it's mostly mayonnaise with some fake chicken as like garnish. And I ate
chicken garnish
every day. And so this is also great. So my boyfriend is also a fucking sociopath like me, and is also really into condiments.
It's a match.
I'm the chef of the house. I'm very into cooking, and I'm very into experimentation and like learning how to make things from different cultures and stuff. Like that's really fun for me.
Yeah.
Really challenging myself with like hard recipes. So my like piece de resistance of quarantine has been from scratch cinnamon rolls, I think, which are not fucking easy.
I bet. See, that's what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah. His piece de resistance is rice in a bowl with an equal amount of mayonnaise and Tallulah lime sauce.
No.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's so good, isn't it?
Like a comfort food of mine, and you microwave it. So I need everybody to go.
It's freaking gross, man.
To go white rice. Actually, choose your own adventure. Maybe other kinds of food. White rice. A lot. It like literally needs to be 50-50 rice and mayo. I'm honest. And a fucking lot of Cholula with lime. Cholula chili lime. Why are Americans so obsessed with me?
Don't listen to Kayla. She's English.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm dysfunctional as shit.
Yeah.
You put mayo in everything. Okay, don't put mayo in everything. For example,
everything.
The cinnamon rolls didn't have mayo.
I mean, people do, though.
For keeping myself from doing that.
Cholula chili lime is dope. I agree.
Okay, so listen, Lauren, this is not okay. This is not a pressure thing. Let me just lay this out here, okay?
Okay.
You start a Twitch cooking show
Okay.
that is mostly focused on how to add mayonnaise to anything.
No.
You have my sub.
I'm like, I hate this. I love
You just
this.
pick up money off the ground.
All right. One in chat if you would not only follow but subscribe to that.
I feel
Call it just add mayo.
Oh my god. Is this gonna be my legacy?
Is this gonna be my
Sharptooth was a mere footstool to climbing the Twitch ladder, adding mayo to things.
Oh my god.
Zero.
Thank you, Zero.
Thank you for gifting 5 subs to HeartSupport. That's awesome. All that money goes to HeartSupport, helping people, loving people. That's incredible. Thank you.
So cool.
Thank you. Just a cache of mayo.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Cash with the S has to have a $sign in it. Just because I need my Lord and Savior Kasha to be proud of me.
Don't think Twitch will allow you to do that.
Have a $sign in my name? Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Ooh, not
Boo.
cool.
Do better, Twitch. Just kidding. You're awesome.
Just add mayo. Oh my god. This is so fucking hilarious.
Anyway, go ahead and just DM us the link whenever you have that set up. Bet you won't do it. Bet you won't.
Why you got to do it?
And that's a sub sound right there. Somebody clip that, please.
And oh no. This is fine.
Oh my gosh.
You're like, how's the stream? I'm like, babe, I have a new career.
I mean, we're just kidding, but actually we're not at all. So please do it.
You're not.
So please do it.
The channel I never knew I needed. Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I am not really joking either. So.
Do it. Okay.
Cool.
Everybody, we just have a check here. Nobody's joking, right? Send us the link to the channel. Moving on. Oh man. Lauren, this has been amazing. This has been so fun. And yeah, it's just a reminder of when we got to interview you way back in the day in the giant dining hall of Warped Tour, some random place on Warped Tour. And we realized that you were the bomb. So.
I mean, I totally feel the same way about you guys, like, especially like on Warped Tour, which was like both an amazing and really challenging experience for me as someone who had never did it before, and all of like the stressors that come with that whole experience, and like having HeartSupport on the tour for me to be able to lean on at like a fair amount.
Yeah.
Was like so crucial getting through that experience and having it be like a super positive one. And that was also like the first time I'd ever really talked about like a lot of the real fucked up shit that's like happened to me. That was the first time I'd ever talked like publicly, like in like video interview.
Yeah.
About that before. So that was cathartic and terrifying, and but ultimately like really that was a really positive experience for me.
Good. Man, so thankful for that. Because
I'm thankful for you all and for the work that you do. It's like literally the fucking you guys are like empathy, the organization, which is so amazing and resonates with me so much as like the most little like empathetic little creature. So yeah, I'm very here for this, very here for you all.
So awesome. Well, I know we're definitely going to want to hang out some more. So this is really cool. Yeah.
I will bring the mayo. So.
Bring it.
I'll bring them.
I'll bring the mayo and the D&D dice. So
there you go.
now everyone just knows what kind of a person I am.
So awesome. All right. Well, guys, Lauren, we're going to let you go here. So you can get back to your day and stuff. But this has been amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you
so much. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Highlight of my day. This
absolutely.
Me too.
The best part. Thank you for your time.
I will
know
see
how busy things
Thank
are.
you all for having us, and thank you to everybody who stopped by to say hi and say nice things or tell me that I'm a cretin for my mayonnaise obsession. Like, I'm fine with that too.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't like mayo. That's even worse.
That's
mayonnaise is perfect.
All right. Well, thank you, Lauren, and we'll let you go.
Thank you.
All right.
See you.
Bye.